Rain jacket is now on because it is pouring. So this part right here is a little sketchy. There's this big cliff I'm climbing up, and it's a pretty decent drop. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Thomas Kerr. I like to make all kinds of adventure videos around New England. Welcome to episode 1 of a new series that I've got here on the channel. It's called 53.5, and it is a series where I, a peak bagger, am setting out to climb all 50 of the 3,500 footers here in the state of Maine. For this first episode, I will be climbing Snow Mountain Chain of Ponds. It is a remote 3,500 footer. It's actually 3,900 feet to be more exact. So really just short of being a 4,000 footer, but didn't quite make the cut. It is not a frequently traveled mountain, and that is mainly because it doesn't actually have a real trail. It is technically a bushwhack, although not as intensive a bushwhack as some of the other mountains that I will be climbing will be. This mountain, although it's on the Maine 3,500 footer list, it also is on the New England 100 highest list, and that brings a little more traffic to it than some of the other peaks that I will be climbing to. But still, it is very remote. It's very out here. We're actually very close to the Canadian border. I'm not too worried about the hike today and trying to stay on the trail. Like I said, it's not a true bushwhack. I will be following old ATV trails, logging roads, and ultimately a herd path to the summit. There is a fire tower up at the summit, which you can climb and get a 360-degree view of the surrounding area. It's supposed to be actually a pretty good view, but I'm not sure whether or not I'll actually get that view today. There's kind of chance of scattered showers, and it is overcast right now. So I'm hoping that maybe the clouds will break so I can get somewhat of a view, but we'll see what happens. Thank you for being here today, and come along with me as I climb Snow Mountain. So I'm 45 minutes in and 1.7 miles. I followed the ATV trails for a while, and for my main navigation I'm using All Trails. There is a map already made up on All Trails, so I'm kind of following that, but I got to a point where the trail kind of zigzagged around, but I could see there was a trail that went just straight and kind of cut that off. It was a little shortcut, actually cut off a decent amount of trail. So when I got to that point, there was actually a small cairn there. So I turned on there, and it kind of just goes up this narrow stream bed, so it is wet. And if you were doing it on a day where there was a lot more water, you might want to take the long way around, but it worked for me. I went up the stream bed a little ways, kind of narrows out, and you'll see another tiny cairn and a herd path that goes a little bit off to the right into the woods. So I'm on that right now, and I'm going to continue up the mountain. So right now I'm kind of at a four-way intersection. I just came from over there. You can see that cairn, and there's a piece of orange flagging tape. So if you hop on that herd path I talked about, it's gonna pop you out right there, and you have kind of three options here. You've got that way, and that way. What you don't want to do is go that way or that way. So when you come out of the woods, you're gonna turn right and you're gonna follow this section with all the tall grass. And you can kind of go immediately right. There's a path there, but there's a bunch of water in there right now. So I'm taking this middle way and see if I can avoid as much water as possible. I am completely soaked, pretty much from the waist down, just from walking through all that tall grass. It is absolutely soaked from the rain, so my pants just absorbed all of it. My feet are soaked through. I can feel the water inside my shoes, but I'm still having a good time. It is starting to lightly sprinkle, so we'll see what comes of that, but I'm already pretty wet, so at this point I don't really care. So I've reached another herd path. It was on the right, marked by a cairn and some orange flagging tape. I think this one's going to take me all the way up to the summit, but we'll find out soon enough. So you're on the GoPro right now, as it's raining at the moment, but following the herd path up. It's nice and well defined through here. Really pretty, honestly. Lots of moss, green, and yeah, definitely the highlight of the hike so far. Rain jacket is now on because it is pouring. Like I said, I'm just embracing being wet at this point. Can't get much worse. Still having a good time, that's all that matters. So this part right here is a little sketchy. I don't know if you can tell, but there's this big cliff I'm climbing up, and it's a pretty decent drop. But there's plenty of handholds on here for me to grab onto, and you just take it real slow and just fine. Totally socked in. I think there would be a little bit of a view right here, but not right now. The rain's letting up now though, which is supposed to be just scattered showers today, so hopefully that's the case. So I'm at a small viewpoint just before the summit. Of course, there is no view today with all the clouds and fog and such. Thankfully, the rain did let up, but the herd path all the way up was, first of all, pretty easy to follow, pretty well defined, which was good. But it was also just so beautiful with the moss and the rocks, and just a really nice path up to the top. Definitely the best part of the hike. I wish I could have filmed more of it, but it was downpouring. So yeah, so I'm gonna make the final push to the summit, see a little bit of the herd path, and see what it's like up there. Snow chain of ponds in the bag. This is number 6 of 50 of the Maine 3,500 footers. So you saw just back there the old fire warden's cabin, which is all collapsed. Behind me is the old fire tower, and it used to actually have a top on it, and that is sitting over in the trees behind me. I am going to climb up the tower, even though I don't believe I'll be able to see anything. But gotta reach the highest point on the mountain anyway, and see what it's like up there. So I'm gonna switch you over to the GoPro. Snow Mountain. Woo! No view today, folks. No view today. Well, as expected, no view, but that's okay. I'm going to sign the registry now. There's a registry up here, and also on a lot of the 3,500 footers where you can just put down, you know, that you're here, the date that you're here. And it's kind of cool to see like when the last person was up here. I suspect it was probably fairly recent on this one, since it is on the New England 100 highest list, but I'm about to find out. So this logbook dates back to 2015, and it's almost all the way filled up, but the last person that was here was a guy named Sam, and he was here on July 8th of this year, and so that was just a couple weeks ago from when I'm here today. So I'm gonna put my name in here, throw in a comment, and be on my way back down. So I was about to finish packing up and start to head down the mountain, and I'm packing my bag and I look up and there was blue sky in between a patch of clouds up above me, and I look and the clouds are moving, so I grabbed my GoPro and I went back up the tower just in time to watch the clouds break open and actually get to see a view. So that's really exciting, because I was a little bummed that I wouldn't get to see the view up here. I knew there was a view and I wanted to see it. So here I am. I'm back at the viewpoint just short of the summit now, and the view is quite nice. It's not obviously completely cloud free, but you can definitely see quite a bit. I can see at least 3 other 3,500 footers that I know of, that I actually can identify. But yeah, pretty cool. Definitely nice to see the sun after it was pouring just earlier. I do, however, have to head down now. I spent a decent amount of time up here. Glad I waited around for the sun to break out, but I'm going to make my way down the mountain. And with that, this concludes episode 1 of 53.5. So cool to bag number 6 of my Maine 3,500 footers. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for following along, whether you are just a viewer of the channel or if you're here for the first time. Maybe you're here because you are looking to do this mountain. No matter the reason, thank you for watching. And until next time, stay inspired, stay creative, and hey, I'll see you in the next video. See you later.